Hello YouTube, this is a video about all my guitars and the gear I'm currently using. Right, now behind me is an Engel Fireball 100 head and a Blackstar Series 1 oversized cab. Now there's a few reasons why I picked the Engel, one of which is the best amp I've ever used for metal, and two, because I like the sound of this amp over every other high gain heavy metal amp there is. But I will give a quick shout out to the EVHs, the EVH 5150s, purely because the harmonics just fucking fly out of that thing. It's a better amp for solos. If you're more of a solo guitar player as opposed to a rhythm guitar player, I would say definitely pick the EVH because that's definitely more suited to you. You can hear, so you can get some definition from the higher ranges of the guitar fretboard more easily with that amp. But for everything else, nah, the Engel just absolutely just crushes everything out there. And I picked the Blackstar Series 1 cab pure. Well, I got it really cheap, and that's why I got it, and that's why I'm using it. It's got Celestion V30s. I can't really complain. It's a beefy sounding cab. I really like it. And the pedal I'm using is a Maxon ST9 Pro Plus. Now this pedal I picked because Cannibal Corpse use it. Cannibal Corpse have a good tone, so I was like, okay, let me treat myself and get the pedal. Imported it from Japan. Yeah, it sucks up batteries if you put it on 18V mode, but it's massive. It's absolutely massive, the sound. It'll completely enhance whatever you put it through. Now, we're going to talk about the guitars now. All the guitars have a mahogany construction. This one has a flame maple top and I think a rosewood or a light brown ebony fingerboard. I'm not too sure, but this is a V, Dean V. I exclusively and only play Deans because every other guitar either gives me really bad shoulder pains, back pain, and I don't really like the feel of them compared to Deans. LTDs are nice, but Deans are my preferred guitars. This Dean was my first Dean. I bought it because it was incredible. I've never had a guitar, I've never played, at the time I was 16, I'd never played a guitar which sounded this good and felt this good in my hands. Like, it was hard to get used to the V shape, but once you get used to the V shape, you really can't go back. At least I couldn't go back. And it sounds wicked as well. I haven't changed a string since August, but this is still probably one of my favourite guitars to play. Not really much comes close to the feel of this guitar. It's just been so reliable, so solid. This is a really cool guitar. Very rare as well. They didn't make many. They didn't make many of these 30th anniversary models. I think there's less than 200 of this V-shape in the world. So yeah, pretty special guitar. Next guitar we have is a V Razorback. Not the 255 with 24 frets, but just a standard regular gloss black Razorback. I modded it. I got EMGs fitted. I didn't particularly want to have this guitar so Dimebag focused and Dimebag orientated. I don't really listen to Pantera. Dimebag's a good guitar player, but it needed to be more me. So I thought, okay, let's just throw in some EMGs, and I'm glad I did. Nowadays I prefer the Fishmans, but I'm not going to spend, you know, nearly $1,000 changing all my guitars to Fishmans, maybe even more than $1,000 after getting them fitted. But this was my first guitar with a Floyd Rose, and I really like the Floyd Roses. They keep your guitar in tune. I don't piss around with tunings too much. I have a guitar for each tuning, and I really like this. I really like this guitar. a lot bassier, deeper sound than the first V I got. Yeah, this guitar has probably been the guitar I've gigged with the most. I supported Enthroned with this guitar, Suda. Went on my first tour with this guitar. Yeah, this guitar's gigged with quite a few cool bands. It's been really reliable. Nothing's ever broke on it apart from strings. Yeah, this is a mad, but also a rare guitar. These Deans, then no one plays them anymore. No one really buys them. No one seems to like them. I never understood why, really. Because they sound better and they play better than most guitars out there, but they're so rare nowadays, and the newer ones don't have the quality as the old ones, which is a shame. Unless you play the USA Deans, but ooh, they're so expensive, but they're so good. This is my first Dean ML, and I got this on eBay on a whim, because I had the money at the time, and I managed to get this one extremely cheap. It's got the same construction as the Razorback, but slightly different shape, thinner body, and this is ebony on the fretboard. Ebony fretboards, as I've mentioned in a previous video, are my favorite. I can't rate them more highly. This guitar sounds a lot brighter than the Razorback V. It's basically the same as the Razorback V, but it's got an original Floyd, and well, obviously the fretboard and the shape's different. The neck's slightly thinner than the Razorback, and yeah, I really like this guitar. I like this guitar. It was a really good buy. I've gigged with this one a few times. The used market is probably the best place to find Deans if you're interested, and they go for quite cheap as well. But yeah, this is a really cool guitar. Now we've got the big boy, my 7-string. This, again, I got used from Dean HQ in the UK when they were around. This is mad, this guitar sounds so thick. This is a proper mean sounding guitar. Yeah, I would, like I said before, I would replace these with Fishmans, because these 7-string EMGs are not the best. They're really not the best pickups. They're not as beefy as the regular 81s are. They're not as clean, as in clean sounding, and it's very easy for these pickups to get muddy. That's why eventually, like if I were to replace any guitar with Fishmans first, it would have to be this one, because these pickups do not cut it. But besides that, the neck is very comfortable. It's very easy to get your hand wrapped around the guitar neck, and it's not too intimidating to move to the 7th string if you're not used to it. This is my second ML, and this one's a bit more special because it's the ML modifier. And I don't know how many Dean made, but these did not sell well. They discontinued them after a year. But this is the best. This is the best playing and the best sounding Dean I've got. And even considering that, it's the most equipped Dean. Now that I think about it, it's got a Floyd Rose. It's got 24 frets. You don't even need to worry about the batteries because it's got passive pickups, and they're really good. These are Dean pickups, not EMGs, and I like the sound of them a lot more. The neck is very comfortable. The tone is brilliant. Build quality is okay. Like, this is an Indonesian-made Dean as opposed to a Korean-made Dean. Like, it's okay. There's some of the frets that could do with refretting. Well, the whole neck could be done with a refret because the quality is just not as good. But for the most part, it's really good. It's a really, really cool guitar, and it sounds. It sounds like the ML, but with a lot more soul to the tone. Because you don't have the slightly compressed sound that the EMGs give. Yeah, if I were to ever be a live guitarist with 1349, this would have to be the guitar I use because it's just so easy to play. Like the clarity, if you play these bar chords, the notes just shine through. Yeah, if I were to ever have like a signature guitar, it'll probably be a modifier, but with a slightly, let's say about half an inch less of scale length, and then it'll be like the perfect guitar for me, and then I'll have one in 7-string form, and that'll be just sick. That'll be sick. This is the guitar I'm playing a lot right now, purely because it's my go-to teaching guitar. I specifically bought this guitar as a beta guitar, so I can just take it around, beat the crap out of it. But I like it. I liked it a lot more than I thought I did, and I kind of want to take a lot more care of it than just treat it like shit. But it's a really cool playing and sounding guitar. Like, I put some strings on it quite recently. This is a guitar I bought to, you know, just break apart and smash up and not really care if it gets beat up. But, you know, I like it too much. You know, it's orange. It's orange. As you can tell, I think Dean guitars are pretty neat. This is my most recent one. You've seen this one in a few videos. This one I have in C standard. and it's a beast. It's a beast of a guitar. So I had a guitar in C standard for fun, and I ended up writing some really cool guitar riffs just on the fly, and most of those ended up in my Cosmic Consecration EP. And then from then I was thinking, oh, I wish I had a guitar in C standard, but I never did it until quite recently with this guitar. You know, I had the cash at the time, so I was like, screw it, this is finally going to happen. And I'm really glad I did, because this is a Dean V Stealth. And this is kitted out how I'd want a Dean V to be. You know, it's got the mahogany body, ebony fingerboard, and really good pickups. Again, I'll change these for Fishman's, but I'm not blowing any more money into music right now. And this guitar is so massive sounding. All it wants you to do is just go. Play nice, thick, heavy palm muted riffs and just evil Dead Congregation style single note. But this tuning is so lovely because you can use it for everything. You can play all of those Dead Congregation style death metal riffs, and you can also play very shrill. Very shrill black metal riffs, even with like lead lines. And as well as that, the more kind of emotive, depressive open chords. I wonder what the somber lane sounds like in C. Yeah, fucking hell, Dissection, you should have played in C instead of D. That is just a video going over all my guitars and the amps I'm using.